Alright. I am finally getting around to the rumors update. Also, before I talk about anything, please tell me if the stream volume, please tell me if the music and sounds of the game are too loud. I was fucking around with Streamlabs for like 15 to 20 minutes. I didn't change any settings since the last streams in Streamlabs, but for some reason when I went to do the audio test, the game audio was like overpowering my mic audio by like a lot, and you could barely hear my voice when the music was going. Especially during the louder part of the menu music. And I was fucking around with the settings for 15 to 20 minutes. For some reason, I had to set my sound volumes. Usually I have them like at halfway when I stream. Usually that's what I do. I had to set them like all the way down here. For some reason, no matter what I did with the Streamlabs audio settings, my computer audio, my headset's audio level, it was not changing anything, or at most like very negligible changes. I'm a little bit irritated right now from doing that. From spending 15 to 20 minutes I could have been actually streaming, fucking around with the Streamlabs audio. I hope it's better now. I did an audio check to check the levels, and it sounded better, but please do tell me if the game audio is ever overpowering my voice audio. I am not entirely sure if it's going to or not. I checked, but, it's still not entirely sure. Maybe it'll fuck up again. I have no idea what is happening with this. Like, hold on, let me check something. I'm gonna actually listen to the stream through the stream manager on my phone for a second. I'm gonna mute my mic for a second just to check that. Hold on, let me check something. I'm gonna actually listen to the stream through the stream manager on my phone for a second. I'm gonna mute my mic for a second just to check that. Hold on. Alright, yeah. Alright, yeah, okay. I think that's fine. Oh my god. This took way longer than it should have. Anyways, the rumors update is here for Scarlet Hollow. I am so fucking excited for this. So I've set up some saves. Okay. Where was my very first one? So I set up some saves for the content I most want to check out on stream. I think this should be the right one. Is this the right one? I'm trying to check. Okay. Garden section. Yeah, okay. Perfect. So this will be the first one I do. So I've looked at the patch notes to see what the most interesting content to me is. There is an Avery car sequence now. If you go to them in the panic after seeing what's in the Forbidden Wing, and you go to the farms with them, they will have a car section now that you can talk to them in. So I have done an Avery Romance playthrough. Dr. Kelly is another one who has a car section now. If you go to her after the incident, she has a car section now, so I've done a playthrough romancing her. And then there is, of course, the biggest stuff that I will do after the car stuff, which is the entire section with the church that you can now go to. You can now go to the church in the Friday morning panic. That is the part that is the most interesting. It seems to have the most new content, and I've done 2 separate saves for that. I have done one save where I am just like generally normal relationships with everyone, just because I want to see what the general basis is there for the events of that. And then I have seen a thing that it's a scene I'm gonna hate. Not a scene I'm gonna hate for it being bad quality, I imagine, but a scene I'm gonna hate because it's gonna fucking hurt to go through. There is, if you do the church, I've learned through general, like, hints people have given on the Scarlet Hollow Discord server. I've kind of read through shit there to see, like, generally where, because they posted a teaser image of Stella looking very tired and shit, and with the caption of, like, why do you keep finding me? I don't want to be a part of this anymore. I'm not looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to that scene because I'm curious what's going to happen, but I'm also not looking forward to it because I know it's going to fucking hurt. I know that scene's going to hurt. I know it is, and it's specifically, I have gathered through the hints that I have, like, read through messages while trying to avoid any huge spoilers. Luckily, I have. If you have a bad relationship with Stella, bad enough that she will not open up to you. Like, you have to, on episode 4, you have to go talk to her and find her at the end of episode 4, but you have to have a bad enough relationship to her that she doesn't open up to you there. I am, very scared for that, for that one. That one feels like it's a scene that's gonna hurt a lot. So I've done that, and then there is one last that I have done, which is going to be a much smaller thing. Apparently, if you have powerful build in episode 3, if you have a good enough relationship with Tabitha that she will sacrifice her years in place of you sacrificing your years to rid the ghost from the library. Apparently, you can use powerful build to stop her from that, and I'm really curious what the dialogue is there. I originally wasn't going to do that on stream, but I decided to set up a save for that because I am very curious what the dialogue is going to be there. Like, and I'm also curious if that's going to be like, you stop Tabitha from sacrificing her years. Do you immediately go to sacrifice her years, or do you have a choice still? Like, do you have, like, the choice for, like, no, never mind, none of us are going to sacrifice our years? Or do you have the choice of, or like, you know, I'm going to sacrifice my years, you are not going to sacrifice your years? I wonder which one it's going to be. If it's like an immediate, like, since you already made the decision to sacrifice your years, you immediately walk into the light and sacrifice your years. Or if you'll have the choice there. I don't know. Either way, let's start with Avery's car section. Not ready to make a move. Maybe it's worth going to church. My thoughts, no. I'm going to someone I can trust. Yeah, I can trust Avery. Also, I might kind of do, like, skim through the farm section dialogue just to see if there's any new dialogue, like, in either of these car routes. Also, apparently you can... Oh, shit, did I do Mystical for any of these? Ah, damn it, I didn't have a... I hope I'm still going to be able to... I just remembered you have the option to have a brief conversation with Irma outside of the farmhouse. I hope you don't have to have Mystical to be less affected by the stone so you can have the conversation with her. I hope you can have that no matter what, because I'm not going to set up an entire new save on stream. That takes a while. Yeah, I can trust Avery. They're attractive. Save. They're the only other outsider I know here. I gotta pick something slightly less shallow than they're attractive. That is a very funny dialogue option. I kind of forgot there was that option. Oh shit, wait, hold on. Avery is the only other outsider you know of in Scarlet Hollow, which means that maybe you're the only person in town who can understand you right now. That they're the only person in town who can understand you right now. Run to Avery. Go to the diner. You arrive just outside of the diner, breathless and panicked. And you just happen to catch Avery as they're slipping out the front door. Whoa, hey. You look like you've got the devil chasing you. It's alright, nothing's after you. Not as far as I can tell. Though you might want to avoid the diner today. There are some miners posted up in there that might give you trouble. Or, I guess, ex-miners. They all got fired. I don't think the strike went very well. What's rushing you out here so early? Just excited to see me? Tell them everything. You try to take a few deep breaths and stutter out the story of your strange morning. Avery nods along, their eyes widening as you describe everything you saw in the estate. Waking up on the dusty floor, the long dusty hallways of your family's secrets, the cell. What the hell? Holy shit. That's who I was when the ghost possessed me. Whoever was in that room. That's crazy. Charlie must have met them. That was, what, the 40s? 50s? And Wayne said he was in there, which means that your family has been stuffing people in there for decades. You haven't let Tabitha know you know, right? Nobody ask. No reason to get her panicked, too. Come right to you. I was hoping you might come with me and we could... Is that an actual option? No, because they're, like, going to the farmhouse and stuff to help with Julius's situation. I doubt they would... I'm gonna save here and check out the dialogue there. Just... kind of a panicked rush. Trust Wayne. Shake your head no. So you trust Wayne. I was hoping you might come with me and we could talk to her together. You have a calming presence. I do? Oh, I like that I make you feel that way. I don't think she gets that impression of me, though. Or any impression. Pretty sure she doesn't even know my name. But we're not talking about me. We're talking about your cousin, who is not looking the most innocent right now, at least as far as I see it. I mean, all this has just been sitting around in her house for her whole life, and she never saw any of it. She never went looking. And the way Stella tells it, she's been doing plenty of her own enforcing when it comes to keeping people out of there. I'm just saying, it kinda sounds like she was keeping the secret. Which means she knew about the secret. We should confront her. I'm rolling back the save anyways. That wasn't the dialogue I wanted to pick. I was just curious about the dialogue. So yeah, we should confront her. Well, I don't know about confront. That doesn't sound like it'll end well. Even if she's completely innocent. Yeah, she does have that gun, and I know there's one ending where she just shoots you. And it goes right into chapter 6. Well, right into the end of the chapter. Eventually, one chapter 6 should be released, yeah. Still, whatever you want to do, I'll do it with you. Though you did catch me at a little bit of a bad time. I got a call from Julius about some plane emergency he needs help with. Yeah, okay, so they are... Yeah, since they're occupied right now, they're not going to go with me. No, I came right to you. Wow, really? Me? Sorry, didn't mean to sound surprised. I'm just glad. But we're not talking about me. We're talking about your cousin who is not looking the most innocent right now, at least as far as I see it. I mean, all this has just been sitting around in her house for her whole life, and she never saw any of it. She never went looking. And the way Stella tells it, she's been doing plenty of her own enforcing when it comes to keeping people out of there. I'm just saying, it kind of sounds like she was keeping a secret. Which means she knew about the secret. You mean you think she might be part of this? At the very least, she knows more than she told you. That's suspicious enough. That's suspicious enough that you might want to be careful. But I'm not here to push you into anything. Whatever you want to do, I'll do it with you. Though you did catch me at a little bit of a bad time. I got a call from Julius about some plant emergency he needs my help with, and I promised I'd go up right away, since he's not really the kind of guy who asks for help. Means it must be pretty serious. I'm sure he wouldn't say no to an extra pair of hands for whatever he's got going on. When he's letting me borrow your car so I can get you wherever you want to go afterwards. I could even help you skip town, if that's what you want to do. I've got some friends in Charlotte who would put you up. They surprise you by leaning in, wrapping you up in a strong embrace, holding you tight against them. They still smell like Winnie's biscuits, the warmth clinging to their clothes. It doesn't last long, though. Before you know it, they're pulling away, patting you reassuringly on the shoulder. You've got options, Lilac. God, I love their romance route. They're so sweet. I do wonder, like, I'm looking forward to next chapter. Presumably that's going to be a chapter that's very Avery heavy. Because I know they have the party going on at their house. And I assume that's going to be the chapter you can lock in their romance. I wonder when we're going to be able to lock in Dr. Kelly's romance, actually. I just realized she also doesn't have a romance lock-in. Maybe next chapter, too. I doubt we'll have any of the romances not locked in until chapter 7. So presumably it's going to be sometime before next chapter. Or sometime before chapter 7. Sometime next chapter. So Julius isn't missing. Plant emergency. Cops yesterday seemed spooked about. Whatever. Who cares? Oh, thank God. Yes, I'll tag along as long as we leave right after. This town is trying so hard to keep me here. I don't have time for this. Run somewhere else. A plant emergency, huh? Is this about Big Betty? Could be. He didn't really give me too many details. If he did steal that pumpkin, it would explain how stressed he sounded on the phone. And why he didn't... You and Avery get into their aunt's battered van, its tailpipe sputtering exhaust as it propels you towards Julius Tremaine's farm. Your friends in Charlotte, but you decided to move all the way out here where almost nobody knows these things along here. I'm gonna save for the start of the scene. So you have friends in Charlotte, but you decided to move all the way out here where almost nobody knows you? Seems lonely. Sure, it can get lonely. But there's just too much baggage back in the Queen City for me. All the kids I went to school with are out there becoming real estate agents or having babies. We're all doing different things, going in different directions. So I think I'd rather keep the memory of what it was like and not ruin it with the way it would be now. Pretty sure I'd be lonely there too. Happier than anywhere else I've lived. Can't really imagine much that could be better. Except maybe if you stuck around. Things have been a lot more fun with you here. Oh, what the fuck? Stream might be down. Stream might have crashed. What? No? Is stream back up? Is stream back up? It might be back up now. What the fuck was that? Yeah, stream went out for a second and then tried to come back up again for like a few seconds. And then went down again and then came back up. What the hell? Is it back up now? Let me listen in on my phone. My phone is showing the visuals. I'm gonna check in and see if it's actually showing audio though. Let me see. Is it showing audio? Yep, it is. I have no idea what just happened. Uh, alright, I guess we're... I guess we're still going. I'll reread the last couple lines just in case. I don't know when exactly, like, what line it exactly cut out at. Happier than anywhere... Are you really happy here? Happier than anywhere else I've lived. Can't really imagine much that could be better. Except... Well, except maybe if you stuck around. Things have been a lot more fun with you here. I think it shook people up. Everybody had kind of settled into their routines, but now people are acting weird, breaking their usual patterns, getting riled up. You're good for this place, and I definitely like having you here. I don't really want to suggest that they take me out of town. Why did moving to Scarlet Hollow ever seem like a good idea to you? That feels a little bit judgy. Not sure I want to use that tone of a line. How did this whole situation with your aunt come about? Did she ask if you wanted to live with her? Yeah, she reached out. She heard from my mom that I was couch surfing, but she decided to step in and give me a more permanent place to stay. She'd inherited a little apartment over one of the old shops, so that's where I'm at, just off Main Street. It was kind of beat up when I moved in, but nothing a little spackle couldn't fix. I really haven't been able to thank her enough for doing this. Giving me a job, even though she was doing fine without the help. I think she sees something in common between us. I know I see it. We don't talk much about it, but she and my mom sound a lot like me and my brother. Same kind of troubles, for a lot of the same reasons. You have a brother? Oh, yeah. We're not super close. They fall into silence. It seems like Winnie really cares about you. Yeah, I'm lucky. She's a good lady to know, especially since people around here respect her. They listen when she tells them to quit doing something. You don't have to hold back around me, you know. I'm happy to lend an ear if you want to talk about the heavy stuff. Avery smiles, though there's a subtle sadness to the expression. That's sweet of you, Lilac. But we've got a long ride ahead of us after this. No reason to rush things, right? We can save the bummers for the highway. That Julius guy, why are you friends? He seems unpleasant. Nah, he's funny. I know some people around here think he's kind of doomsday prepper, Unabomber guy. Like they expect he might fly off the handle and get himself on the news. I know better. He comes down to the diner just to be around people, because he gets lonely in that old farmhouse by himself. But he has to keep up the act, so he sits in the back booth growling at anybody who gets too close, like a feral cat. I figured him out pretty quick. He's no Unabomber, just somebody who needed a friend. I've been there. So, being that friend was the least I could do. What does Winnie think of Julius? Oh, she hates that guy. If she had her way, I think she'd kick him out and permanently block off his booth in case the residual negativity wound up attracting somebody just as ornery. But she's got too much hospitality to ever go through with it. And between you and me, she thinks he's funny, same as I do. Alright, stream's still up. Good. I have no idea why it stopped going for a second. It's not... I don't think my Wi-Fi cut off. Maybe it's Twitch or Streamlabs just having issues. Let's save before this in case this is a little bit pushing boundaries. Your parents, did you really leave home over just an academic dispute, or was it something more personal? Avery laughs. Who cares? I'm not there now, and life is good. Fair? Right in silence. You let the humming white noise of the road overtake the two of you, settling back and watching the trees go by. Trying to enjoy your last day in Scarlet Hollow. Last? Are we leaving Scarlet Hollow after this? Is that what the implication of this route is? I guess they did say something about, like, the high... I guess, yeah, they mentioned their friends in Charlotte who were gonna help me out with a place to stay, so I guess, yeah. They did mention the highway thing, and obviously there wouldn't be a highway on the way to Julius's. It's in the same town. As the trees part, the woods thinning and giving way to messy patches of scraggly, end-season garden vegetables, you feel something familiar. It's weaker than the others you felt, as if it's only just begun to stir. But there is a stone here. You found another. Please let me have the conversation with Irma without having mystical. Please, I did not prepare one where I had mystical. Oh, no, never mind, I did. I have the ones with the... at the farm. At the farm. The ones the church saves, I'm using mystical and talk to animals there. Talk to animals because Pastor Daniel's gonna be there, presumably, and I wanted to be able to talk to him about that kind of thing. Yeah. And mystical because, I don't know, I thought it might help. I don't know. Going around a church, especially one with, like, a steaming stone there, maybe it'll help. Maybe I'll be able to sense the stone there or something. As you and Avery step out of Winnie's van, you find your thoughts drifting. You wonder what this carving might look like. You think of the others and the visions they showed you. You wonder what this one might have to share. His place is the one up the hill. We should go in through the garage. That's the safest way. Hey, you're the kid who works at the diner, ain't that right? Yes, ma'am. Avery, Lilac, and I are just going up to see Julius. Don't mind us. We'll stay out of your hair. Oh, so this is Lilac. I'm Irma Calloway, Duke's wife. The police you said was there. The police said he was there when it happened. Don't tell me any details. I don't want to hear him, and that ain't what I stopped you two for, anyway. Either one of you seen Bo this morning? Bo? No, I don't think so. He hasn't come by the diner or anything. I don't see him in there much, though, so that doesn't mean he's not around. Yeah, he prefers his mama's cooking. Irma glances furtively around. She's hiding her panic, but you doubt she'll be able to keep hiding it for long if Bo remains out of her sight. You two are heading up to see Julius? Seemed Bo may have had a similar notion. Said something to that effect last night over supper, since he's got it in his head that Mr. Tremaine stole that big pumpkin he was growing with his daddy. I didn't think he meant it. He's always been a good boy, never started no fights or nothing. Figured he'd wait to let the police handle things. But now I'm worried he got sick of waiting. If you two see him in there, you send him home. Tell him that pumpkin ain't worth breaking no laws over. Alright? Will do, Mrs. Calloway. Save? There's another stone in there. I can feel it. Here. I can feel it. Bad things keep happening around those. Really? There are more of them? I wonder if that means we're in for a repeat of that whole ghost thing. Ghost? What are you two talking about? There was this stone in the library that had a ghost haunting it. Lilac is saying there's another one here. I'm not one for that kind of superstition, but what you're saying is that there's something dangerous around here, is that right? More dangerous than the usual Tremaine nonsense? What is this Julius guy like? Should I be worried? Yes, you should. You step wrong on his property and you might lose a foot, or worse. Oh yeah, I know all about that. You just have to avoid the porch, the back door, and also be careful around the patch of grass next to the garage. And then there's the stuff inside, but that's easy to spot once you know what you're looking for. We should be good. I feel like he cultivates this whole reputation as a surly old dude who hates everybody, but at this point I think it's all for show. He's always struck me as just kinda lonely. Plus he leaves a tip every time, so he can't be that bad, you know? If that's your opinion, then whatever face he puts on down at the diner every day is not the Julius Tremaine I've had as a neighbor ever since marrying into the Calloway clan. He's a bitter old man who drives off anybody and everybody, always starting problems just for the sake of having something to fuss about. That's what he's gone and done now. If Beau is right and he's the reason that Big Pumpkin went missing, what a thing to have done after what's happened to our family. That's a man whose only love in life is hurting other people. Avery doesn't continue, but you can tell they're just barely holding back a further defense of the curmudgeon, biting it back for politeness' sake. Yeah, way to reassure her. I hope you've been holding up alright this week, ma'am. Sorry for your loss. Ain't been easy. I know there's a lot we'll have to figure out about how we'll get by without him, but there's too much nonsense going on to think much about it. If you need any help this week, I bet I could get Winnie to give you two some free meals at the diner. I suppose that'd be awful nice of her. Can't say I have much to say about it just now, considering what's going on with Beau at the moment. Free biscuits don't mean much while my boy is still missing, if you can pardon my bluntness. There are ditchlings here. I see you've shot at least a couple. Ditchlings? There's a name for them things? I've kinda gotten used to them at this point. Is that bad? Wish I had that kind of luxury. Been wasting a whole lot of bullets on the things, trying to keep them away from our chickens, and we're still down to our last few hens. Beau's been awful upset over that too. He raised them with his daddy. He cries whenever one gets snatched. I suppose Big Betty getting stole was a bridge too far after all that. Have you been seeing any animals with strange growths recently? That's where they come from, according to Lilac. They've been laying eggs in the local wildlife. And what's left of my chickens. Now don't say another word about them. I'd rather not have to know. I just want them to leave us alone. Have you been seeing anything weird and unexplainable around here lately? Anything supernatural? Well, there's them, what do you call them, ditchlings? As you can see, we got plenty of those to worry about. Have a whole heap of dead ones in the back by now, stinking up the yard. They're supposedly omens of bad things to come. Don't need to be an omen, they already brought enough trouble on their own. Can't say I've had much time for noticing anything else that might be strange around here. My mind's been occupied. I'm sure everything is gonna be just fine. No need to worry, okay? That's right. Other people are involved now. It's not all up to you anymore. Who knows? Maybe the two of them are just talking things out over coffee. No need to get too worried until we know what's going on, right? Irma gives Avery a quick once-over. She does not seem impressed with what she sees. Anxiety still creases her brow, her frown deepening. Our Beau doesn't drink coffee. I'd better go ahead and see about calling the police. Irma casts one last furtive glance up towards the farmhouse on the hill, then she hurries off, back to her own house to call the local authorities. I guess we better get to it before somebody shows up and stops us. Not that they're going to be in much of a hurry, knowing the Scarlet Hollow police force. That feels right. Something is tugging at you, the pull growing stronger the longer you wait. The sooner you're in the farmhouse, the better. Avery slips under the rusted metal door of the half-open garage, and you follow clumsy with eagerness as the stone pulls you forward. I'm going to skip, and it should just stop at any new dialogue, right? Oh, this is new dialogue. No, I've done their romance before. I've definitely done their romance before. Maybe this is, like, new dialogue for, like, specifically now that they've added the Irma thing, the conversation with Irma. Maybe it's, like, I don't know. They slightly altered the dialogue. You slip in after them, avoiding a tripwire almost on instinct, even as the force tugging you towards it grows even stronger. Yep, there's Big Betty. Okay, definitely. I don't really want to go through the whole farm sequence. Is it just gonna say... I honestly do not remember if I've actually read this dialogue or if this is like the altered or new dialogue. I don't really want to go through any of the farm sequences on my saves because that's like stuff I've already seen. But I guess I'll read through here and just see if there's anything that sticks out as new to me. Your eyes take a moment to adjust to the dark garage before falling on something unusual nestled in the mess of the untidy space. Something strange and organic and large. The gutted corpse of Big Betty, the biggest pumpkin you have ever seen. Her stringy orange intestines trail off from inside her slowly drying cavity, leading through the open door and into the old farmhouse. You want to follow the trail. It's leading you inside, closer to what you're looking for, but you at least have enough patience that you can wait for Avery to lead you safely forward. What exactly did Julius call you about again? Something to do with plants. Though it kinda looks like I'm too late. I don't think the pumpkin is gonna pull through. Not that he mentioned a pumpkin anyway, but who knows? There was some weird noise in the background that made him a little hard to make out. Like a cat or something. I might have just missed it. Looks like somebody's making the world's biggest pumpkin pie. Ominous ass dialogue. So he did steal Big Betty. It's crazy that the cops didn't manage to find this. It's right here in plain view. They could have just looked under the garage door. Wouldn't even need a warrant. Not that I think anybody should get arrested for stealing a pumpkin. Pretty low on my list of worst crimes. Make sure you step where I step. Wouldn't want to slip on this stuff and impale yourself on any rusty pitchforks. Is this all new dialogue? I could have sworn I've had this dialogue before. You carefully follow along behind Avery, letting them go first as they guide you into the house. There are strange, fleshy growths between the floorboards, creeping their way up the walls. Avery seems unfazed by their presence, merely poring over them like oddities. Whoa, check these out. What are they, roots? You must have a tree growing in here somewhere. Hey Julius, it's Avery from the diner. An older man's scratchy voice calls out from elsewhere in the house. Downstairs. That's where it is. Your thought is interrupted by some other sound rising up from below. This must be what Avery heard over the phone. It doesn't sound much like a cat to you, though. Anything I should look out for on the way down? Rug, that's all. Careful, Lilac, don't step on the rug. They point up and you follow their gaze. Above the rug, there is an axe attached to some kind of spring-loaded mechanism, stashed between the ceiling rafters. Cool, right? It's like Home Alone in here. We don't have as many lives as the wet... We don't have as many lives as the Wet Bandits, though, so look out. What's with these traps? Why does he have these? I don't know, I haven't asked. It's his house, it's not really my business to tell him how he should keep it. I'm guessing it just makes him feel safe. I don't need to question that. He's all alone out here with neighbors who don't like him much. It's no wonder he's a little paranoid. How well do you know this guy exactly? Well enough to come when he calls. We might not talk much, but I feel like we have an understanding, you know? I save his booth for him, he reads his paper and pretends to ignore me all day. He leaves an extra 50 cents. There's comfort in the routine. I do yard work for him sometimes too, and it's the same thing. I trim back the bush, he gives me a Coke, I try to talk to him while I drink the Coke. He gives me one-word responses, then asks me to do something else. It's predictable. Safe. Except for the bear traps, but he always warns me about those. That could kill somebody, really. I don't know about that. I'm starting to think there might be something weird going on around here. Just now, really. What is... Oh, there's definitely something weird going on here. I guess that dialogue is more meaning at the house. I thought that meant in Scarlet Hollow in general. There might be something weird going on around here. You've been here before, right? Were the roots always there? No, those are named. Something really weird is going on in here. Looks like I'm the one getting us into an interesting situation today, huh? Alright, we're coming down. Wait, we? Who's we? The roots seem to shift as you pass through the open doorway, almost closing in, tightening around the edges protectively. But your ears are starting to ring, tunnel vision closing in as the stone calls out to you. You've gotten too close now. It's managed to grab hold, pulling you forward down the steps, eager to be seen. Hi, Julius. Ain't that Tabitha's cousin? What the hell? I didn't say you could bring a friend. It's not letting me skip the vision. What the hell is going on with this? I don't know why the skip thing isn't working. It should be. Yeah, so this is definitely dialogue I've seen before then, if it wasn't letting me skip the vision. Starts bleeding pretty bad when I do that, man. I don't know if it's such a good idea. We'll try going slow. Ease him out. Someone screams, then something else screams with him. Inhuman. Ungodly. You come to. The room slowly solidifying around you. You are propped against the wall, the far wall of Julius's unfinished basement. He's holding a gun, politely pointed at the floor, watching Avery from a distance. Bo lies limp in the corner. There is something attached to his chest, the source of the awful noise. It stutters with pained inhalations matching Bo's unsteady breaths. If we're looking at this like Junior here is a plant, which I guess he is, he's clearly got enough roots dug in that it just shreds Bo if we try to yank him out. And Junior doesn't seem to like it much either. Well, of course he doesn't. You're taking away his life support. But you don't want Bo dying down here. I mean, he's got a family, man. They care about him. I know it. As much as I hate the Callaways, I don't want my boy coming into the world with this on his conscience. That was the whole reason I got you down here. I thought you'd have some kind of smart-ass solution. But trimming the roots just made him dig deeper. And pulling seems to just be killing Bo faster. He's as stubborn as his daddy, that's for sure. And he's scared, too. He's getting defensive, trying to protect himself. But I won't give up. You want help? I'll try to help. Maybe there's something else you can eat. Lilac, hey, you made it. Julius startles, straightening up, gripping his gun tighter as the attention in the room falls on you. Babbling coherently about your vision. Saw it all, my family, the witch. Witch? Damn it, Avery, is this one involved with her? I knew it. I knew she would try to send more bullshit my way. Wasn't happy with how much she already fucked this up, huh? Look, whatever she sent you for, I'll shoot you before you do it, so don't even try. I don't care who you're related to. Hey now, nobody has to get shot. Lilac is my friend. We're all friends here, okay? I'm glad you came too. I thought you were in pretty bad shape. You went out at the top of the stairs and tumbled the whole way down, so if you feel pretty banged up, that's why. Helps that you went limp as a rag doll. They say that's how you fall proper. If you don't want to get too busted. Not that I give two shits. I got enough lives to worry about already, and I didn't expect to be hosting a damn party down here. He's trying to ignore it, but the thing is reaching for him. Its little tendrils is trying to extend in Julius's direction, and he's standing just outside their reach. You also notice the way he's clutching at his side, hiding something behind the posture of a wounded cat. He's been injured. but your thoughts are interrupted by the sound of muffled sirens. God damn it, not this too. Come on, boy, hurry up and eat. Let's get you looking more like a person before I have to explain all this to anybody else. Okay, yeah, I've definitely done this. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna skip the rest of this scene, because I've definitely gone through this before, and this isn't any. There's no new dialogue here. I don't think. Like, I think this whole situation is the same as before. I think it was just the Kari that Avery that added any dialogue. But for some reason, I've done Avery's romance before. I know I've done this scene before, but for some reason, it's not letting me skip through any dialogue, so I can't really get to the ending of the game from this by just skimming through dialogue. And I'm here for the rumors update. I'm gonna load the save with Dr. Kelly. Going to someone I can trust. I can trust the police. No, I cannot. You can trust Dr. Kelly. She's pretty. I just feel like she'll keep me safe. Run to Dr. Kelly, go to the clinic. You arrive at the old clinic, breathless and panicked. You pound on the door for a few seconds. Lilac, what's going on? Is he here? She glances past you, out over the other houses, scanning the tree line. When she sees nothing, her eyes return to you, confusion and annoyance twisting their way onto her face. What's got you all worked up? Wait, don't tell me out here. Get inside. The doctor ushers you in. All signs of what happened yesterday seem to have vanished. There are no streaks of paint on the walls, and the sunlight casts no harsh shadows, softening the memories of what happened here. Lilac, be honest. Has he done something? This isn't about Reese. You know as much as I do about the situation. Dr. Kelly heaves a visible sigh of relief, some of her tension seeming to fade. Okay, good. That's good. Tell me what's going on then. Don't hold back. Tell her everything. You explain what you've just uncovered in the estate. Waking up in the Forbidden Wing, your family's secrets, the cell. When you finished, Dr. Kelly is silent for a few long seconds, taking in everything you said. Come here. She wraps you in her arms, pressing you to her chest. There is surprising strength to her embrace. Her hair holds the floral cleanliness of a generic shampoo, evidence of her humanity lurking under the flat sterility that seems to pervade the clinic. Then she's pulling away, holding you firmly by the shoulders, looking you in the eye. It'll be okay. You did the right thing coming to me. Who else can we trust? Are we alone in this? I'm not sure. I don't like the thought of involving anyone else, not when things seem to be getting dangerous. You said that Wayne guy told you about a witch, right? I'm not his biggest fan. I don't know what he was doing in the clinic yesterday, and I don't want to know. That being said, if this witch is who I think it is, I have business with her anyway. Sybil has a lot to answer for. We should go into town and see what she knows, because I'm willing to bet she's been hiding just as much as your family did. Hell, she might even be involved if your creepy friend can be believed. Wayne is not my friend. Though that's a big if. God, you're too young to be dealing with all of this. I'm not that young anymore. Thank you. I really need someone who knows what they're doing. Don't thank me yet. My usefulness remains to be seen. I'll grab my gun and we can go. You make your way back towards Scarlet Hollow's Main Street. Your destination suddenly feeling strangely unclear to you. But it seems like Dr. Kelly knows where she's going. You follow along as best as you can. What the hell? Her eyes go wide in shock, her eyes locked on the bricked up facade of one of the many closed businesses on Main Street. I was here just yesterday. How is it closed? There's even moss on the bricks. What's going on? This is so confusing. This was open earlier this week. Or am I thinking of a different store? No, you're right. She's doing something. I don't know how, but I know it's her. Things are changing, and she's trying to make us forget how it was before, trying to cover up what she's doing. You feel the holes, don't you? I can't remember what the store was for. That can't be possible. She's trying to rewrite our own memories. Well, I'm not going to let that happen. Sybil, you get out here now. You're going to reverse this, or... She's not here. It's Miles, one of Scarlet Hollow's resident teenage miscreants. Miles, what's going on? Where's your... I don't know where Sybil is. She left this morning. With somebody else. Who? Who was she with? I don't know. But I feel so guilty, Dr. Kelly. I feel like something really bad is about to happen and it's all my fault. Please, you gotta do something. It's okay. We'll figure this out. Do you have a hammer or a crowbar or anything? We can get started on these bricks. No, she's not in there. He tries to collect himself, wiping away a tear, swallowing his confusion. Look, just go talk to Julius, okay? He's always asking me weird questions. He probably has a whole book on whatever it is that's going on around here. I told him about some things I've seen, but I don't remember what those things are anymore. All I remember is talking to him. Julius, you're sure? This isn't just a distraction to get us to leave Sybil alone? No, this is serious. I mean it. Go talk to him and see what I told him. I just get confused every time I try to do it myself. And I wind up turning around, and I don't know why, but I feel like I did after the collapse, where I just left. And I know it's not my fault, but it still is because I was the oldest, but I didn't help, and people got hurt. Hey, it's okay. We'll go. I promise we'll figure this out. We won't let her win. Miles goes quiet, his eyes distant. Let who win? Concern cracks Dr. Kelly's face. Don't worry about it, Miles. We'll catch up with you later. Try to relax, okay? This isn't your problem anymore. She starts up the road, motioning for you to follow. I hope you feel better soon. Whatever, I'm fine. He turns away, once again retreating into his usual broodiness. Follow Dr. Kelly. Let's see what her car scene is. Oh, shit. You follow along beside the doctor, matching her long strides as she walks with determination. Julius had better have something good. I feel awful leaving him like that. And I'm pretty sick and tired of all this magic bullshit. We didn't cover memory spells in med school. How the hell am I expected to deal with this? The two of you return to the clinic and get into Dr. Kelly's station wagon. She hits the gas hard, propelling you both towards Julius Tremaine's homestead. Dr. Kelly's car feels meticulously cared for. The leather is oiled and shiny, the floor clear of any debris, not even the occasional escaped receipt to be found. And it smells like clean laundry. She seems to be a cautious driver, taking turns slowly, her eyes fixed intently on the road. Alright. Save for the start of the scene. What do you know about the people who live out at the farms? None of them come to see me, so mostly just what I hear. I've met the older couple, Duke and Irma, and their son, Beau. He's in his early 30s, but he was in school for a while before he managed to graduate, so I feel like I saw him at a few events while Reese was growing up. Really good kid. He was always helping pack up chairs and that sort of thing. The other one, the Tremaine guy, I don't hear much about him, and what I do hear sounds an awful lot like baseless rumors. They say his parents were cousins, though somehow I doubt that. Even around here, it's not that common, and it's much more common to accuse people you already don't like of being born from an unholy union or whatever. They also say he set up the place with booby traps to protect some bunker full of guns, maybe? Or just survival gear for some apocalypse. And I even heard that he killed somebody and did time for it, which I've seen no written record for. But the one thing I do know is that he hates his neighbors, so he has me worried. Sure, let's see. So, I'll be staying at the clinic tonight, right? With you? If your idea is to find somewhere safe to sleep, I'm not sure. Reese could always come back. I'm not even sure if I'm safe there. And if Tabitha catches wind of it, who knows what she might think. Maybe we'd better find you a bed somewhere else tonight. Of course, the Ford options. I had a feeling this would unlock some. Smile silently. We're both adults. Who cares what we do? Don't say stuff like that. It sounds like some kind of excuse. And what were you saying we're going to do exactly? You're making some serious assumptions. Yeah. I never should have told you about those stupid pre-pregnancy dreams. All I did was put ideas in your head. Maybe not the best of the options there. Hence why I saved C. Wait, what the fuck? Oh, wait, this was before the staying at the clinic tonight, right? Yeah, okay. If you'd rather I stayed away, that's not a problem. But I do like you, you know? I know. I don't want you to stay away. Please don't. Look, I can set you up with a bed, but I'm not sure this is going to be what you think it is, so don't get your hopes up. Fair enough. That was a better one, yeah. Slightly less presumptive. Kind of sounds like he might not appreciate us showing up. Too bad we're showing up anyway. But like when a certain kind of person sees fear in your eyes, it makes them feel powerful, and it makes them act. Like when a cat plays with its food. So when we show up, remember that. Don't look like you're expecting the worst, and it won't come to pass. Or maybe we're both wrong, and he'll just be some old guy, happy to have some visitors. You must be so tired, always having to put on a brave face, helping other people even when things are hard for you. It's just how I manage. I'm used to it. I'm not the kind of person who can sit around letting my problems eat me up. I need to be doing something. So people rely on me to act when others would freeze. Even if it means I might sometimes do something without thinking it through as much as I should. I'm not going to stay with this dialogue option, but I am curious what the response is going to be. I have a really bad feeling about this. We should just leave town. I don't care about unraveling the mystery. I'm the only doctor in town, Lilac. I'm not going to leave these people now, right when things are getting dangerous. They need me. And what can I say? I've already started to like the whole assistant thing we have going on. So you're saying too. Wait, the response to that was kind of sweet. I might actually keep with that dialogue option. The closer you get to the farm, I wasn't going to keep with that one because, like, I don't really want to pick the options that are like, I just want to leave town. It's a fair thing to want to do in this situation, but I'm not picking that for my characters and this. But honestly, that response was pretty good. That was actually a nice dialogue option. I like that one. The closer you get to the farms, the more strongly a horrible feeling settles into your gut. A feeling that, by now, you're more than familiar with. Another stone. There's something terrible waiting for us at the farms. I can feel it coming. Oh no. You don't think it's one of those stone carvings, do you? God, what if it means there's something else like Reese? Kind of. Not of the same kind. But pumpkin monster baby. At least the tranquilizer gun is in the trunk, though I'd rather not have to use it. Right in silence. You let the humming white noise of the road overtake the two of you, settling back and watching the trees go by, trying not to think about anything outside of the safety of the doctor's car. As the twin farmhouses come into view, you feel something. Your head swims, your ears ring. There is another stone nearby, and its hold on you is quickly growing strong, trying to detach you from the solidity of the station wagon's leather seat. Something is crying out. Yep. Okay, so this is not letting me skip, so presumably not quite the same dialogue as I got last time. Something is crying out, and its calls will only stop once you found it, and given it what it needs. What in the whole squad's here, huh? You step out into the fresh air, and the feeling gets worse. Every muscle in your body tenses, terrified, for some reason, of taking another step forward. Afraid you won't be able to stop. But you want to move forward, don't you? An invisible, eager thread tugs at your chest. You dig in your heels. Irma, what's going on? What are the cops doing here? Where are the cops? I called them, on account of Bo went missing, and Duke says last he heard Bo wanted to give Julius a piece of his mind. Once they got here, they went in with Duke. They being the sheriff and that... Once they got in here, they went in with Duke, they being the sheriff and that white deputy, the one with the sunglasses. Then something happened, and there was a gunshot and then this awful sound, something screaming. Weren't like no creature I ever heard. That's when the other deputy, the black one, he ran in and the door shut behind him. Nobody's come out since. So everyone's inside. It's starting to worry me. I'm running out of folks to call for help. Who are you, by the way? I'll go through the dialogue options here. They should be different enough with having a whole different character here. Who are you, by the way? Sorry, Irma. I apologize on Lilac's behalf. They don't teach manners in Kobold. This is Irma Calloway, Bo's... I can introduce myself, Doctor. You can call me Mrs. Calloway. I believe you're already acquainted with my husband, Duke. Bo is our only child, so you can imagine why he decided it would be best to go in after him. Though I had my qualms about it. I had my qualms about Bo going in too, but I suppose my boys are both too headstrong for that. And now both of them are in here, and I'm starting to get worried that maybe they won't be coming back out the way they went in, on their own 2 feet. I'll do everything I can to make sure your boys are safe, Mrs. Calloway. That Julius guy, what kind of person is he? Is he usually open to conversation? No, I would not say he is. It doesn't do well to speak ill of people, but that man is rotten, inside and out. The Tremaines have always been that way. Ornery, and they keep to themselves. His parents were cousins. That's what Duke always said. The Tremaines trying to keep their bloodline pure. So it's not like he can help that he inherited a double dose of their family poison. Why was Beau trying to give Julius a piece of his mind? I'm sure we don't need to get into the why, Irma. You've already had to tell the police. I'll tell it as many times as I have to, if it means somebody gets something done about it. He and his daddy was growing a showstopper pumpkin for the state fair, and a couple of days ago it vanished out of the patch. Which of course had the boys concerned, considering it was over 1,000 pounds. But they know who done it, since we all know how Julius Tremaine is about the property line. Beau and his daddy did right and went to the police first, but of course there wasn't much help. Never are when it comes to Julius. They're scared of him, I bet. Her words sound tinny in the thick air. Your mind is trying not to hear the woman, your focus slipping, but you persevere. So Duke was talking about taking matters into his own hands. Not the first time he went on a tear like that. Nothing usually comes of it. But Beau took it serious, said he wanted to talk some sense into Julius. We told him not to. But he went up there anyway, even though we both said how dangerous it was. He was proud of that pumpkin, said it was going to take home the grand prize. And now it's been hours, and he's still in there. Every question you ask is more time spent not being where you're supposed to be. And time isn't something you should be playing with right now. The itching in your head has told you as much. It's okay, we'll get Beau out of there. We're on the case. Who's we? You don't think you're going in with me, do you? Yes, you do. You have to go in there whether you want to or not. I don't care who goes in there, as long as somebody finally comes out. I just want to know what's happening. The waiting is killing me worse than knowing would. Oh, hold on. There was somebody else, too. You know that black kid that moved here a few years ago, in from Charlotte? They're still talking. How much longer are you gonna have to stand here? It's starting to become unbearable. Avery? The one who works at the diner, right? I suppose so. I don't tend to go in much myself. It's one of Tremaine's haunts. That kid came by just before I called the police. Went in before anybody but Beau. But Avery still hasn't come out either. Their words are starting to blend together, as if you've heard enough and don't need to hear any more. It doesn't matter if people aren't coming out, as long as you're still able to get in. Avery. Friends. You lose track of your words before you can finish the sentence. With Beau or Tremaine? I've never heard Beau talk about anybody named Avery, and I don't think he goes to the diner either, so I don't think his daddy let him. Well, there's no reason to think it's a bad sign, right? Avery has always struck me as someone who keeps a cool head. Maybe they've managed to keep the peace. We go now. Doomed, we're all doomed. I love that incoherent dialogue choices you get while affected by the stone. Please, doctor, you have to hold me back. Lock me up or something, or I won't be able to stop myself. I'm coming with you, doc. Start walking up the hill. I love the stone dialogue option so much. I'm coming with you, doc. Come with. It came out a little differently than you'd planned. It's hard to focus right now, and words feel unimportant. You just have to get to the farmhouse. I'm not sure if you should. You don't look well. Why don't you come back to the house with me while the doctor takes care of... I'm not listening, apparently. But it's too late for that now. Your feet are already moving. You don't need to understand the situation any more than you already do, and you certainly don't have to wait until the doctor tells you it's safe. You know you're going to be a part of it. Oh, this is new art. This is one of the the ones they posted for a teaser. I remember this one. So you might as well go where you need to go. Oh, come on, get back here. Are y'all gonna be alright? Of course, Irma. I'll get your boys out of there, I promise. Damn, who am I supposed to call if the duck's stuck in there, too? The closer you get, the faster you move, until you're practically running. You can hear the doctor behind you, jogging to catch up, yelling some words of warning. But the neglected... I don't know why I went to say negotiated. But the neglected farmhouse looms above you. Your destination, so close now. The door opens, the rusted hinges screeching, and you step across the threshold. Dr. Kelly's hand is on your shoulder, trying to pull you back. But you pull forward instead. And the door swings shut behind you both. Sheriff Hugby dangles in the middle of the room. An axe attached to some strange mechanism in the ceiling is embedded in his face, holding up his corpse in an imitation of life. Jesus. Don't move, Doc. This place is a damn death trap. Is it gonna let me skip the dialogue here? Okay, yeah. I don't know why it wasn't letting me skip the dialogue. Did they add new dialogue to the Avery, like, going there with Avery early? I know I've done Avery's romance route. Why is it letting me skip this dialogue and not the ones with Avery? Oh, well, this is new. I guess I should just skim through now that it's actually letting me skip shit here. I should just skim through and see if there's any new dialogue. This is new art, too. I don't think I've seen this art in the game before. You start down the hall, and as if expecting your arrival, the vines seem to shift, parting slightly, letting you through. Yeah, this is all the same. Sought all my family the witch. What in the hell are you talking about down there? What are you doing with my bow? Calm down, Calloway. We got the situation under control. Just let it talk it through. Yeah. Okay. Any new dialogue options for me here? I don't think so. I think that's all the same stuff. Well, that was Dr. Kelly's car interaction, like the new stuff they added for her route. Very cool. Very cool new content so far. I'm very much liking this. Right, okay. So, now for the biggest shit. The church stuff. Going to the church on the Friday morning panic. This, judging by the amount of times that they have talked about this and stuff, this seems to be the largest batch of new content. I'm going to start with the one where I have a good relationship with Stella. I'm going to start with that. Then I can get my heart broken by the upsetting scene that seems to come with having a bad relationship with Stella on this route. Alright, I already have to save directly right here. Maybe it's worth going to the church. I'm not ready to make a... Fuck. I'm not ready to make a move. Motherfucker, what? Oh, that changed the dialogue, I guess. Weird. I guess I couldn't... I'm not reading that dialogue bit out, I guess. Panicking in the woods outside of the estate. I can just reload my save, actually. Not super important reading it, but I might as well. I'm not ready to make a move. Maybe it's worth going to the church to collect my thoughts. It's the last place anyone would look for me. And I do have, as I mentioned earlier, I do have mystical and talk to animals on the church saves. Panicking in the woods outside of the estate isn't doing anyone any good. The pastor seemed keen to connect with you yesterday, and it seems that almost nobody bothers to attend service at Scarlet Hollow's First Baptist Church. You can figure out what you're going to do next after you've had a chance to catch your breath. Oh, interesting. So this is less going there directly. Like, I presume I'm going to talk to the pastor at some point in this route. Interesting, it's not directly just going to talk to the pastor as much as it is no one's going to look for me here, because barely anyone goes to the church in this area. That's an interesting angle to go there for. The yard of the Scarlet Hollow First Baptist Church is quiet, without a human soul in sight. For the first time since you got to town, you approach the massive yet plain entryway. Closed until further notice. Sincerely, Janie. Only to find a note taped to the building's front doors. It reads, closed until further notice, sincerely, Janie. What the hell? Oh, right, I guess... I guess because Janie and Tulip ended up at Tetanus Lake. I'm sure that's gonna go completely fine, and there's gonna be nothing bad that happens with that in Chapter 6 when it releases. I'm sure there's gonna be nothing bad that happens there. There are little hearts over the eyes. You're already here, might as well look for the pastor. You make your way around the church, keeping your eyes peeled for any signs of life. Oh, there he is. When you round the corner, you find Pastor Daniel seated on a bench beside the gates of an old farmyard, or of an old graveyard. Mist coils up from the grass at his feet, rolling gently between the mossy stones. He turns as you approach. Oh. Whoa. New music. Slower version of his theme. Startling slightly at the unexpected intrusion. Lilac, I didn't expect to see you out here. Or anybody, really. Families around here tend to have family plots. You probably won't find too many familiar names. If you're looking for any Scarlets, you'd be better off trying your own backyard, huh? Unless you were looking for me? Oh wait, you came by asking about Stella yesterday. Did you manage to find her? Or should we start putting out missing person flyers? We found Stella. I think she's doing a little better now. Oh, that's good. What a relief. Though you don't look particularly relieved. You look just as stressed as yesterday, maybe even more so. Did something else happen? Save? I actually did come here looking for you. You're one of the only people I trust. Tell him everything. You take a deep breath and start at the beginning, filling in the pastor on everything that's happened since you first arrived in town, culminating in this morning's explorations. Well, that is quite a story, Lilac. I'm surprised you're still here. I think if I'd gone through even half of that, I would have booked it out of town as soon as humanly possible. I suppose it says something about your resolve, then, that you didn't. It sounds like your great-great-grandfather was even more of an influence on the Holler than the history books would have us all believe. To think that even now, generations after his death, the specter of Enoch Scarlet still looms over our little town. And I don't just mean that metaphorically. If what you found in the estate is any indication, it could be very well that the whole of Scarlet Hollow is under the influence of witchcraft. Not many people would be able to see the things you saw and still hold faith in someone like your cousin. That takes a certain strength of character on your part, or maybe a little foolishness, but I admire you for it anyway. I wonder what this would change in general, like, telling him about this specifically. Because it seems like he's going to play a major role next chapter. I wonder if that's going to, like, I mean, I have to assume that's going to change dialogue next chapter, right? Because I'm guessing next chapter, if you didn't tell him about it, you can get the option to tell him about everything. I wonder what the different dialogue is if he already knows. We're the only family either of us has left. That has to count for something. That's a good attitude to have, even if someone else in your shoes might have reasonable doubts about Tabitha. I feel like it's important to keep an open mind about people. More important than almost anything else. There's a man who lives on a farm on the outskirts of town named Julius Tremaine. Have you heard of him? What an asshole. Yeah, I've met him. What's he got to do with things? You ask almost anyone in Scarlet Hollow about Julius, and they'll say just about the same thing. Nasty old bastard. Crazy inbred hillbilly. They won't even spare a bless his heart behind his back. And if you were from around here, you'd know what a serious condemnation that is. You might think all this must mean he's been a scourge on this town, making enemies of everyone he meets, but let me tell you about his sins as I have witnessed them. He's rude, he's unkempt, doesn't bathe as much as he should. Every now and then he'll get into a scuffle with his cousin, Duke Calloway, though whether he starts any of those or not is up for debate. And he struggles with reality, I would say, but that's it. And people in this town hate him for it, even more than they hate going to church. None of them could tell you why he does things they don't like, because none of them have bothered to ask. But as a friend of mine once said, judge not lest ye be judged, so let me tell you what I've seen Julius Tremaine do. There's this Greer kid, Avery, who works at the diner. Nobody bothers to be friends with Avery, because Avery's a little different. The town's not as outright mean to Avery as it is to Julius, but that's southern politeness for you. Wide smiles and warm greetings that freeze you out of the bits of humanity that actually matter. Julius talks to Avery, though. Julius is in the diner just about every day, and I get the feeling it's mostly for the conversation. Heck, Julius built a bench for Avery's garden so people who don't even give them the time of day can enjoy the kid's hard work. Even pretended it wasn't him at first, maybe hoping that Avery would think someone else actually cared. Actions speak louder than words. He may be a different person to have a conversation with, at least by Southern standards, but there's more to him than other people allow themselves to see. There is a generosity there when the right person brings it out of him. Not sure you're allowed to say queer like that. You seem to have nice things to say about Julius and Avery. Why aren't you friends with either of them? Who's to say I'm not? I like to think of myself as everyone's friend. Though maybe I'm more of a future friend for those two. It's not for lack of trying, of course, but there's a baggage that comes with my position. Julius Tremaine wants nothing to do with me, and it would seem that Avery has a complicated relationship with the church, given their background. But maybe one of these days I'll get them to break bread with me. A congregation of misfits would suit me just fine, considering I'm in a similar boat in the town's eyes. I am curious about this dialogue option. I'm not going to save this, because I am very curious what the answer to this is, what the response to this is. I'm not sure you're allowed to say queer like that. That's not what my friends on the internet say. They tell me it's been reclaimed. Sure, yeah. What the hell does any of this have to do with my problems? I don't get it. Why are you telling me this? It's pretty obvious why he's telling me this. Again, it connects to Tabitha. Basically telling me, like, not to judge her for what her actions may seem like on the outside, which, yeah, true. Her actions... Why did that... Since when does pressing middle mouse button hide the art? It's H as one of the buttons, but middle mouse button, I guess, does that too. That's a dangerous opinion to take. I don't like either of these dialogue options. I don't like either of them. Do I not get to say something nice? Damn. Maybe this will unlock some new dialogue options or something. I don't like either of these. As actual stuff I want to say. I don't get it. Why are you telling me all this? You can think of it as a parable, Lilac. Because Tabitha and Julius aren't too dissimilar if viewed from a certain perspective. Other people have gotten to decide who they both are. Their identities have been constructed for them, based on factors beyond their control. Much like Julius never got a chance to be anything other than a reviled outcast, your cousin never got the chance to be anything other than Plain Scarlet's daughter. Exactly. But you didn't grow up here. To you, Tabitha can be anything, or anyone. I know you're willing to give her the chance to explain things, but you still don't trust her enough to go see her before you came to me, of all people. So if you're looking for someone to give you a nudge, then I'll give you a nudge. Just because I want to believe Tabitha has nothing to do with our family's past. It doesn't mean I'm gonna just tell her everything I found. I should really go talk to my cousins, shouldn't I? If they're right about Julius, I think people only get ostracized from society for good reasons. Oof. I can't, no. Not only. Certainly not. I should really go talk to my cousin, shouldn't I? It's your choice, Lilac. I know it probably seems like you might be a lamb wandering into the lion's den, or even a pit of serpents. But life is short, and Gog's kingdom is eternal, and Tabitha has yet to prove herself to be a lion, let alone a snake. Tell me, Lilac, are you of a religious persuasion? Oh god, you're trying to convert me. I don't think he is. I thought that at first. I thought he was one of those kinds of people who, like, forces their religion onto people. Which is why I was very much hesitant towards him at first. I don't think he is. I've gone through playthroughs where I've, like, specifically tell him, like, I'm not religious. And he fully respects that. No. Don't worry, I'm not trying to convert you or anything. I just think that a person's relationship with religion has a massive influence on how he moves through life. Or she. What is religion if not a person's relationship with eternity? For me, I know that at the end of my finite time on this earth, I'll come face to face with my maker, and I'll be judged for whether or not I've held faith adequately in my heart. And if I pass that judgment, an eternity of salvation awaits. That knowledge changes my entire frame of reference in life. Compared to the infinite goodness of eternal salvation, any amount of suffering on this earth feels like nothing. Only as bad as a bit of grit you rub from your eye. Oh, hello, Amy Rose. Welcome in. I just realized I haven't been looking at chat like all stream. Damn. I've... Twitch. Shows that I'm live for 11 seconds. Maybe is it back? No, it's still not showing any video. What the hell, Twitch? Restart my app and see if it'll... If it's... Come on. Oh, is it maybe back? Oh, we might be back. We might actually be back now. Good. I hope. Let me check if the audio is back on and stuff. Is the audio back on? I honestly cannot tell. It is... What the hell? Maybe? I don't know if audio is coming through. It's not showing any audio is coming through. I don't know where the alpacas came from. They just showed up, I guess. Hold on, I'll roll back to save so I can actually read out the dialogue that might have... I don't know if there's game audio. It's not showing desktop audio. Desktop audio is not showing any levels. Yeah, mic audio is showing levels on Streamlabs. I'm not seeing anything with the games. Let me see. Load back to my most recent save. Oh, you hear game audio? Okay, good. Good. Alright, good. We're back. That's the second time this has happened this stream. I don't know what's going on. There's no issues with my Wi-Fi or anything. My Wi-Fi's been being fine today. I guess Twitch is just being annoying today. I get why you're telling me this. Should really go talk to my cousin, shouldn't I? No. Alright, I'm gonna not skim through, not gonna click the skip button through this dialogue. Because the alpacas should come in for a second. Compared to the infinite goodness of eternal salvation, any amount of suffering on this earth feels like nothing, only as bad as a bit of grit you rub from your eye. It makes it easier to think of all of life's challenges as little trials, you know? You've been through plenty of trials this week, more than most people encounter in a lifetime, but even those are nothing compared to... Where did they come from? I thought they were in, like, enclosures or something. I remember the alpacas being mentioned by him in, like, Chapter 4. I don't remember exactly what he said about them. But... Oh, I knew it was a good idea to pick. Talk to animals. Whoa. Did I just hear what I think I heard, boys? Oh, no. I think you did, Spot. Little Danny's yapping out behind the church again, once again doling out heretical counsel to a wayward soul. He just can't help himself. As if the road to salvation lies in faith alone. Ha! The spotted alpaca spits at Professor Daniel. This piece of work is letting his wife go into that church all alone to deal with a rat infestation he's too chicken shit to handle himself. Yeah, and he thinks he's going to heaven. Heaven. Brownie, would you believe it? But Danny, it's never too late to suck it up and be a real man. Would Jesus have let his broad kick the moneylenders out of his temple for him? Jesus, these alpacas are rude as hell. What? Jesus Christ. What are the... I don't think Jesus had a broad, Danny. Yeah, but if he did have a broad, he wouldn't have let her do the work for him. Get what I'm saying? Oh, this might be one of the better animal interactions in the game. But he didn't have a broad, Tanny. That ain't in the Bible. Have you read the Bible? Have alpacas read the Bible? The spotted alpaca nips the brown one on the backside of his head. Brownie, you big oaf, none of us is saying Jesus had a broad. He's saying it. It's a metaphor, Brownie, a metaphor. There ain't no metaphors in the Bible, Danny. Shut up, both of yous. We don't want to scare off the wayward soul. Oh my god. This is the best interaction so far of the new content. Did someone read the Bible to you? Can you guys read books? Oh, I bet it was him, actually, yeah. I didn't come here to talk about the church's rat problem. I came here to talk about whatever the hell I found in the church, found in the estate. Why are you Catholic? I will get food. All right, see ya. Thanks for coming by. Why are you Catholic? You guys are being so mean to the pastor. I don't think Jesus would like that. What's that about faith and good works? Pastor Daniel, I think you should help your wife. What? You've got somewhere else to be. Good luck with your rat problem. Oh, fuck off, bot. Oh, fuck. Hold on. Ban. There we go. This is the best fucking interaction in the game. Oh my god. Why is this the funniest shit in the game? Oh my god. Okay. The dialogue options here. I don't know what to... I made a save on this specific dialogue option, right? Yeah. Just leave. Reasonable, honestly. 3 alpacas come out of the trees and start insulting him, spitting at him. Why are you Catholic? We used to live around some very slick churches. Real gorgeous old things with architecture and everything. Nothing like this dump. Janie had the alpacas brought down from a farm somewhere up north. New Jersey, maybe upstate New York. God's country. The Lord has seen fit to put us through the trial of no longer hearing his word, but our hearts will remain loyal to him even so far from his light. I read you the Bible whenever you ask. You don't do the voices good. Oh, I love this. Oh, this is so fucking funny. Someone read the Bible. He just said he read the Bible to them. Did someone read the Bible to you? Can you guys read books? Well, first of all, we can hear real good. It's an alpaca thing, so we've heard plenty of sermons, especially back up north with the good churches. And second of all, we was born with the gospel in our hearts anyways. And third of all, we can hear everything. I already said that, Brownie. Our church is a lovely place, and I think my sermons are thoughtful and poignant. And if any of you actually bothered to listen to with those big ears of yours, maybe you would be able to understand that. Oh yeah, your rat-infested church with a leak in the roof? Our barn is nicer than that little mountain shack you call a church. And we provided that barn for you, so a little gratitude would be appreciated. Wasn't it Janie who patched up that barn last winter? And I held the ladder for her, so it's still we. Oh, I love this. Pastor Daniel, I think you should help your wife. I don't think Jesus would like that. You guys are being so mean to the pastor. I don't think Jesus would like that. Finally, someone who can come to my defense. I've always told them they aren't acting very Christian. Like you know what that means. We've all heard what you think Christians is like, and I can't say I care to hear it again. Your wife, now there's a Christian. She's always going out there to help people who ask for it. And helping your sorry ass too. Just out of the goodness of her heart. Now them's some good works. I really hope Tulip hasn't been able to hear this during her formative years. It can't be a good influence. Nah, she can't hear us. Just you, Danny boy. Wait. No, because I remember him saying he thinks she can hear animals. I think she heard me once because I asked for a bite of her apple and she gave me some. She just takes after her mother, that's all. She inherited the kindly and generous genes, not the loudmouth know-it-all genes. Maybe she just doesn't like your attitudes. You know, she's been talking to the rats. Maybe they just got so big that they can talk to people now. It doesn't matter now anyway. No matter how big they are, the rats will be gone soon. What's that about faith and good works? It's not important. It's a schism, Danny. A schism. He thinks that's all you need to do to get into heaven is believe in Jesus, like all Baptists. And we think that's not good enough. You gotta show him you got what it takes to follow his teachings, or you gotta pay his holiness to make up for it. Good works are the fruit of faith. If you're genuine in your belief, your actions will prove it. Says the guy who's letting his wife do his dirty work. Says the guy who spent years failing to grow a congregation. Says the guy that none of us like. Says the trio of jerks who won't stop bullying me. This is the best new content. This whole conversation. Pastor Daniel, I think you should help your wife. I'm not gonna weigh in on anyone's marriage. Hmm. See, it depends. Does he actually, like, have her do all the work? Because if so, like, you should certainly, like, split it. But also, I don't know, I don't know how reliable of narrators these alpacas are. Let me see, I saved here. I could go back if I don't like the result of this. Pastor Daniel, I think you should help your wife. It's 4 against 1, Danny. Okay, you've all made your points. I shouldn't let Janie do all the dirty work for me. Or at least she shouldn't have to do it alone. I think it's time for us to part ways now. What's the other dialogue option, just to see? I think you guys are being too hard on Pastor Daniel. No, Lilac, they have a point. I should help Janie. It's time for us to part ways now, yeah. Okay, so it's about the same result either way. I think you should help your wife. The pastor walks you politely back to the main driveway, away from the misty graves and feisty animals. Sorry to be sending you on your way, Lilac, but hopefully our talk helped you get your thoughts in order, even if it was cut a little short. I'll be rooting for you. Despite the abrupt end to your conversation, you feel an unexpected tranquility wash over you. A certainty that you couldn't quite grasp until now, staring up at the old edifice of the... but the sad old edifice of the Scarlet Hollow First Baptist Church. Yes, you can talk to Tabitha, and you can do it with an even keel. Turn to the church in your hour of need. Let's go. New achievement. I think that's my first new achievement from this. Oh, shit. You make your way back to the main church, ready to make your next move. But where should you possibly turn to next? Let us see. I'm gonna try and talk to Tabitha, and I'm gonna skim through the dialogue, see if there's anything new from, like, visiting the church first. Sneak past the miners. Perfect. Hi, Tabitha. Let's see. I don't know that there will be any new dialogue in here. I'm just gonna, hence why I'm just skimming through to see if there's anything new in her confrontation. Wayne kidnapped me in my sleep. Anything about the church? Let me see. Anything about the church? No, not really. Out of curiosity, am I close enough to Tabitha to get the best ending to this? I'm just gonna skim through and see. Just I'm curious if I have gotten a good enough relationship with Tabitha on this relationship. What if she didn't know better? There was this cell in the Forbidden Wing. Wayne says he was kept there. Oh god, do I remember the best dialogue options to pick to get her walls down as much as possible? I talked to Wayne after seeing everything. What is he really? According to him, nothing is able to leave the town. Move on to a different subject. Let's talk about Provan. What really happened to her? Yeah, there's like no new dialogue here, which is what I expected. Shit, I don't know if any of these are good. Found our family medical records yesterday. Let's see. I don't think you've done anything wrong. Specific accusation. Oh, damn, I was gonna get the best outcome here. Yeah. Damn. I wasn't sure if I had. Okay, you're not alone anymore. Yeah. Let's actually see. Let's actually do the Irma talk with Tabitha, actually. As the twin farmhouses come into view, you feel something. Your head swims, your ears ring. There is another stone nearby, and its hold on you is quickly growing strong, trying to detach you from the solidity of the leather seat beneath you. I'm getting a headache. The feeling is strange when you try to examine it more closely. Contradictory. The cries of a presence that wants to be alone and safe, yet at the same time needs you. It's bringing something into this world, and you'll be the one to deliver it. God damn, that cop drives fast. Hey, are you okay? You're feeling that thing in there, aren't you? I feel it too. Just keep your cool, okay? Yeah, see, I could pick the more wordy, mystical option. No can do Tabaruni is the one I'm gonna have to go with. Oh, great. It's turned you into even more of an oaf than usual. That's the best dialogue option in this scene. Every muscle in your body tenses, terrified for some reason, taking another step forward, afraid you won't be able to stop. But you want to, don't you? The invisible eager thread tugs at your chest. You dig in your heels. What did the whole town get the what? Did the whole town get the memo about this? Isn't this a work day for you, Miss Scarlet? I don't need to explain myself to you. You don't have to, but it's generally considered polite. Noted. Now what's going on in the farmhouse? Damn it, I'm getting sick of telling people all this. I told the cops, hell, I even told that black kid from the diner, and not one of y'all has done any good yet. Hey, I only just got here. Wait, kid from the diner? You mean Avery? I suppose that's the one, though I don't go in there much. That's Tremaine's haunt. Okay, so you told all these people what happened. Then what? Did they just wander off? Where is everybody? Miss Scarlet, I can't say I appreciate your tone, but I suppose you and the doctor here are the last authorities I have left to turn to, so... Like I was just saying, I called the cops since Beau went missing this morning after spouting all this big talk about how he wanted to go up there and give Julius a piece of his mind. First, the sheriff went in alongside that white deputy, the one in the sunglasses, but then something happened and there was a gunshot and this awful sound, something screaming, weren't like no creature I ever heard. That's when the other deputy, the black one, he ran in and the door shut behind him. Nobody's come out since. And nobody has taken anything I had to say seriously. I told them all to look out, that Julius has the place rigged up like he's expecting to fend off an attack. Wait, you mean all those rumors are true? Indeed they are. You better be careful where you step when you go up there. He's got bear traps and tripwires and God knows what else. Hopefully everybody else has already set off his hillbilly contraptions for us. Thanks for the heads up, though. Lilac, let's go. Hold on, Miss Scarlet. What makes you think being in charge of a coal mine suddenly gives you authority to enter what might be an active crime scene? I'm the emergency medical professional here. I'll let you know when you're allowed to enter. Joanne, with all due respect, after what I did for you last night, I think I'm owed the benefit of the doubt in this department. Do any of you feel something screaming? Screaming? You can hear somebody screaming? Lilac, dial it back. We don't need anybody more panicked. We don't need to get anybody more panicked. My cousin has a strange way of speaking, all metaphorical or whatever. Damn, if it really was somebody screaming, at least I'd know there was more people alive in there. There was people alive in there. Hold on, before we do anything, we should talk about this. Let's have the handy list. She'll get you there. Start up the hill. I feel like something is pulling me towards the farmhouse, and I can't ignore it forever. Can you at least try? As a doctor, I seriously advise against wandering into an active crime scene, where guns are involved. I'm not afraid of some old farmer. Now, if you'll excuse us... Llama's gone, yeah. Oh, that was the best scene this episode, this new bit of content. Very funny. She starts moving and the tension in your muscles finally breaks. You start up the hill, your attention entirely focused on putting one foot in front of the other, bringing you closer to the thing that needs you, the thing that's screaming. Hold on, I should at least go in first. Looks like you'll have to fight Lilac for that, Doctor. You can hear the doctor jogging along somewhere behind you, but she isn't catching up. You must be moving faster than you thought. Who am I supposed to call when y'all get stuck too? That's the last you hear from the woman before you're finally out of earshot. You pause in the shadow of the neglected farmhouse, staring up at the creaking porch. Don't do anything stupid once we're in there, okay? Just let me handle it. Let's see, any new dialogue in here? You can't answer your cousin right now. You step up onto the porch, reaching for the handle to the screen door. The door opens, the rusted hinges screeching, and you step across the threshold. Tabitha follows close on her heels, heavy boots thumping along on ancient wood. And the door swings shut behind you. Yep. Sheriff Hugby dangles in the middle of the room. An axe attached to some strange mechanism in the ceiling is embedded in his face, holding up his corpse in an imitation of life. Let's see. Any new dialogue? Skip along. Derrickson, is the doc here yet? We need a medical professional down here. Voice is coming from the basement. The doctor's here? Julius, you should let her come down. You don't really want the officer to die down here, do you? I'm not the one blocking the stairs. I'm not the one you gotta convince. It won't be blocked for you. The stone wants you there. Everybody shut up. Avery, that's your name, right? Get pressure on that wound. Yes, ma'am. Get away from him, kid. But the doctor... Okay. Yeah. No, it's a couple new pieces of dialogue there. You start down the hall. Not letting me skip this. Is this the same dialogue as I guess there might be some new stuff. You start down the hall as if expecting your arrival. The vines seem to shift, parting slightly, letting you through. Okay, yeah. The same dialogue, pretty much. I like to check with each of these ones just to see if there's any new dialogue in this whole confrontation. Yeah, okay. Alright, yeah. It's all the same dialogue. Now on to... You know what? Here, actually. I could do the Tabitha one first. I'm waiting until last to do that Stella one. That one seems like it's gonna physically hurt. That one seems like a not at all happy scene. Let's see what happens when I have powerful ability, and especially since this one's gonna be a short one. I'd rather end on a longer one than a shorter one. So I might as well do this one first. Let's see if I have powerful ability and stop Tabitha from sacrificing her years to rid the ghost. I'm not leaving before I put this thing to rest. You take a step towards the spotlight. As you move forward, you feel Tabitha's hand on your shoulder. Lilac, what are you doing? It's okay, Tabitha. This is what family's for, right? No, I'm not letting something like this happen to you. Powerful build. You don't have to let her do this. You can still beat her to the punch as long as you act now. That is, if you even want to stop her. Sacrifice years of your life before your cousin sacrifices hers. You don't have time to talk this through anymore. You shove your cousin out of the way and hurl yourself towards the light. Lilac, what the hell are you? Achievement. Let's see what Tabitha says about this. I skipped the cutscene. I've watched it plenty of times. For the first time in what feels like hours, the earth around you feels solid, real, but also soft. You feel it pressing in on all sides, cold and growing tighter by the second as the soil settles. Claw your way out. Your arms tear at the earth until they break through into the air. Look back behind you. As you gasp for breath, you take a look at the pit behind you. Charlie's mummified remains stare up at you and sad and broken at the bottom of the pit. You're only able to maintain your gaze for a moment before exhaustion overwhelms you. With the last of your strength, you hoist yourself from the pit and collapse onto the floor. You feel like death. No, Lilac, you weren't supposed to do that. I was trying to... What's wrong with you? It's done, Tabitha. If you have any regrets, keep them to yourself. You try and think of words to say, but you're still delirious from what happened and you struggle to form coherent thoughts. Come along, Lilac. Let's get you home. Okay, so like a little bit of new dialogue. Yeah, as I suspected, that one was a shorter one. You quietly walk towards the stairs. Tabitha rushes to your side and gives you a shoulder to lean on as you walk. You're outside. It's real this time. The cool breeze chills you deeper than it should, and you realize just how drained you feel. Yeah, I think this is the same as usual, yeah. Yeah. I couldn't let Tabitha sacrifice herself. Sacrifice herself? Lilac, I can't believe it. Thank you so much, and I'm so sorry. I don't know how I can possibly make this up to you. So that really happened then. That ghost really took away years of your life. I'm afraid so. Everything in this world has a price, and those years were unfortunately what it took to put that spirit to rest. You don't even live here. You're barely even a Scarlet. It's just so unfair. Kanika takes a deep breath and sighs. You know, Lilac, the salt and pepper look on you is good. Is good on you. Maybe this isn't all bad. Kanika. Sorry, just trying to be positive. Stella's way better at that. Yeah, okay, so mostly the same dialogue, but there's a little bit of new dialogue. That is such an interesting choice, though. I'm super glad that they added that. That's a really interesting direction to go with that. This is the one. Alright, church again. And I am not looking forward to this. I'm not looking forward to this. I know it's gonna be roller in. I know it's gonna be good. It's gonna be effective. I don't like seeing Stella in a horrible mental state. Is it the same dialogue as... Yeah, it's the same dialogue. Okay. You're already here, might as well look for the pastor. Okay, the pastor is here. Oh, there's Stella. Oh, no. When you round the corner, you find Pastor Daniel seated on a bench beside the gates of an old graveyard. Mist coils up from the grass at his feet, rolling gently between the mossy stones. And there's someone else too, slumped by a pair of graves. Stella, kneeling quietly, her demeanor uncharacteristically muted. That's gonna be her parents' graves, then. Yeah. Hey there, Lilac. Looks like I found our missing Stella. Or I guess I should say that she found me. She doesn't seem to be feeling very chatty today, though. But I figured just having someone nearby was better than being alone, even if she wasn't up for much conversation. So we've been here all morning, just sitting. Try and sit by Stella. Sit by Stella. Yep, exactly. I knew it would be. You make your way down the central aisle and plop down in the grass by Stella, joining her in front of the twin graves. The names carved into the tombstones share her last name, Richmond. Oh, hi Layla. Finally someone who could talk sense into this girl. We've hardly eaten in days, and I'm too delicate of a lady for all this sleeping rough business. I'd at least like a tent. You came to talk to the pastor, right? I thought you knew I'd be here. You don't have to worry about me. You can go talk to him. Yeah, okay. Fuck. We can talk more if you want. I don't think we really hashed out things last night. Hash things out? There's nothing to hash out. We're totally good. I'm fine. I'm just doing some thinking. It's no big deal. It's not really any of your business what I do anyway. See, she isn't even in her usual clothing for the chapter. Come on, Gretch. It's getting a little crowded out here, don't you think? I hope this means we're finally headed home for good. The bag's under her eyes, too. Please don't come looking for me again. I'm tired. I don't want to do this anymore. Before you get the chance to respond, Stella starts walking away, and Gretchen follows loyally along behind her. Stella, please don't run from this. Yeah, this is the fucking art. Yep. This This is the fucking art. This is the... yeah, this is the same... Yeah. Stella stares through you with a blank expression. She turns away before she gives an answer. Gretchen glances back at you once, uncertainty brimming in her smushed little face, before the two of them disappear into the woods. Oh my god. She's not even going home. She's just walking into the woods. It doesn't seem to me like she found what she came here for. Hopefully you'll have more luck. What brought you to the church today, Lilac? A matter of faith? Or maybe it's something to do with the gift? Shouldn't one of us go after her? It's okay, Lilac. She'll know where to find us if she needs us. You know what they say about leading horses to water. You can't make them open up about their problems. I'm worried this is gonna take a really fucking dark turn in later chapters if this kind of route keeps going like this. I mean, I don't want to be... I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to be a part of this anymore. That... Like, as of right now, it's just... It's seeming like primarily talking about she doesn't want to be a part of what's going on right now. I'm worried that's going to turn into something worse as later chapters go on. Oh my god, that one hurt, yeah. A lot of folks here around here are like that. I'll shut up like clams. Doesn't make my job very easy, that's for sure. Is there any other dialogue options I could have chosen to get her to open up? I doubt it. Like, if she didn't open up the night before, I doubt she's going to now. I don't think she needs to hear this right now. I really don't think she needs to hear what I found in the estate right now. Just hanging out in the graveyard, feeling normal? Jesus, some of these dialogue options are mean. Please, I know I'm practically a stranger, but you could tell me what's on your mind. I want to know. That's very sweet of you, Lilac. But I don't need to talk or anything. I'm just visiting my parents. It's no big deal. Come on, Gretch. It's getting a little crowded out here, don't you think? I hope this means we're finally headed home for good. Please don't come looking for me again. I'm tired. I don't want to do this anymore. Before you get the chance to respond, Stella starts walking away and Gretchen follows loyally along behind her. Stella, this is serious. Stella stares through you with a blank expression. Yeah, she doesn't even... Yeah, that one was a slightly more pushy one. Let me see what other dialogue... Is there any way you can get her to open up here? I doubt there is. Again, I highly doubt it. It feels like the two I've chosen so far are... Maybe if I pick this one and then... Stella, please don't run from this. No, it's the same. Yeah, I was right about that one being... Wow, yeah. What happens if I talk to him without talking to Stella? I wonder. Oh, wait, never mind. No. Hold on. I want to stay here in this spot, but I want to talk to him and see if anything happens. I'm going to skim through the dialogue because it's going to be presumably mostly the same. You start talking, stumbling over your words as you try to explain everything, recounting your strange morning and what you uncovered in the Scarlet Estate. But as you babble out only something semi-coherent about the cell, Stella stands up, forcing a pause. Oh shit, she is here. There, she is like, she is here as in, she walked over here. Yeah. Why do you keep finding me, Lilac? I don't want to be part of this anymore. Come on, Gretch, it's getting a little crowded out here. I hope this means we're finally headed home. I'm so terribly hungry, Stella. Jesus. Some of these dialogue options are horrible. Horrible. Yeah. She does deserve to know, but also I don't think she needs to know all this right now. She's dealing with enough shit. Stella, wait. Can't we just talk? I'm sure it'll make you feel better. And she walks off, yeah. Stella either doesn't hear you or pretends not to. Almost before you're done with your sentence, she's leaving, slipping through the rows of gravestones and disappearing into the woods. Shouldn't one of us go after her? Wow, yeah, okay. Rough, like, route here. She walked off into the forest. I doubt she's back at her home. Forget it, I shouldn't be here. I want to see if I can go to her house and check. You back away from the graveyard before the pastor has a chance to press you for any details. Whatever answers you're looking for, you're not going to find them here. But where could you possibly turn to next? Yeah, I can't turn to Stella here. There's not even the option. Wait, I'm going to someone I can trust. Yeah, Stella's not on here. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that... I was right that was gonna be a fucking... That one was gonna hurt. I was right about that. Yeah, this is like the most tired Stella has been at all in the games. Like, her eye bags do kind of get like deeper throughout the chapters as they go, showing how much more tired she has been getting. But that's like by far the fucking largest they've been drawn. And oh my god, I'm so worried about like what that route is going to lead to in the full game. Again, with the way she's talking, I hope I'm wrong, but this game's been willing to get really dark. I wouldn't... yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if the game did that. It went the kind of way it seems like it might be going with Stella on this particular route. Thankfully, this isn't my main playthrough. Thankfully, my main playthrough still is doing much better. On both of my main playthroughs. Yeah, that one was a crazy fucking one. Let me see, is there anything else I can think of to... Can I go to Bo? I didn't even realize Bo was on the list. He's not gonna be here, right? Bo's the biggest person in town. If anyone can protect you right now, it's him. I need to check this out. I had no fucking idea. And the map you got from Miles a few days ago conveniently lays out an easy to follow path to the Calloway homestead. Go to the farms. Go to the farms. Or did this just end me up at the farm because they're kind of like probably near each other? Your destination's set. You start the miles-long march for the Tremaine and Calloway farms. You can only hope that answers await you there rather than even more questions. As you make your way along the sunlit dirt road, you feel something. It's familiar by now. Okay, yeah, that just kind of... Yeah, okay. Oh, go away, Wayne. I don't want to do this right now. Can it wait? Yeah. There isn't much time right now. I wish things were done differently. Yeah, I think I've done this. I've gone through this dialogue before. I think I've done like a solo walking through the farm thing. I'd always intended for us to do this together when the time was right, but the witch rushed things, and now events are unfolding faster and faster. Domino's gaining speed. It's hard to focus on his words. The air feels thick, like he's trying to talk to you through water. But I believe she's miscalculated. She's at her most vulnerable now, and I trust you'll know what to do when you find her. So go on. Yeah, okay. So it just gets me to the farms on my own. Yeah, okay. I was wondering if that was like new content, but I guess that might not have been. Maybe I hadn't noticed that Bo was always there as an option. Yeah, I think that's about all of the content from this. I don't think there was any new content. It was certainly all of the content I prepared to look at. I prepared saves for. This was a very interesting. I really liked I really liked that they added this. The biggest part, obviously, was going to the church and talking to Pastor Daniel. Yeah, Pastor Daniel. Yeah, that was the biggest part of this. The most major, like, largest bit of extra content was the whole church thing. I should check to see if there's any new dialogue here. I have a hard time believing this. I'm checking to see if there's any dialogue changes with the interaction with Stella there. Just gonna pick along the same dialogue lines. The alpacas are back. That makes things somewhat better after the fucking Stella scene. Yeah, it's okay. It's exactly the same dialogue. Okay. All right. All right. I think that is gonna be about it. This was very good. I liked this. This a lot. This was very good. Yeah, my favorite bit of new content was the whole thing with the church and going to talk to Pastor Daniel, because that was the largest bit of new content. You get to know Pastor Daniel better. You get the amazing interaction with the alpacas. Yeah, the car interactions with both Avery and Dr. Kelly were great. The car interactions both like added some stuff to both of their characters, and to generally just like getting you to be able to talk to them more before the whole thing with the farmhouse. Very cool. I always like the car talk scenes because it's like a nice chance to just be able to talk directly, like only with the character, and like you always get to know the character better with the dialogue options that you are offered there. And I think it worked. I think it did great for both Dr. Kelly and Avery. Both of their car stuff was interesting. Added some extra, like you learned some extra stuff about their characters, and yeah. Then there was, of course, the church stuff. That one was very good because it gets you, like, Pastor Daniel. You can't talk to him very much in the game before. You get talking to him after meeting the mayor in episode 3, and then talking to him in episode 4 if you choose to go to the church while looking for Stella. And it's good to be able to, like, talk to him more because his character was one that you don't get to know very well. I assume you'll get to know him way better after episode 6. Episode 6 seems to be an episode that is very much built around the church and Pastor Daniel and Janie and Tulip. Seems to be a run that's very much built around that, which is you're gonna be able to, like, know him better. But it's nice to be able to get another, like, talking thing with him there. Also, the alpacas were amazing. That might have been one of the funniest scenes in the whole game. The dialogue of the alpacas was hilarious. The dialogue options were also hilarious. I really like a lot of those dialogue options there. It's so right that Talk to Animals would have some good stuff there. Stopping Tabitha from sacrificing her years with powerful build is a really interesting option. Like, it gets you only a couple new dialogue options, or not dialogue options, dialogue, it gets you only a couple new lines of dialogue from, like, Tabitha. And it gets you one dialogue option out there, like, I couldn't let Tabitha sacrifice herself. That one's a really interesting choice, and I honestly wonder if there's extra dialogue options there, like, whenever you talk about, like, the fact that you sacrificed your years, maybe Tabitha will say, yo, I wish you hadn't stopped me from sacrificing mine instead, because that's clearly how she feels. She said, like, you should have let me sacrifice my years instead of you sacrificing yours. So I wonder if that would, like, have some extra dialogue options down the road. I'll have to check that out. It's not, like, something big enough that I would want to check all of that out on stream, like, play through all of chapter 4 and 5, but I bet there are a couple dialogue options in there. That one was one I was really interested in when I saw that in the patch notes. And then there was the most upsetting one that they added here. The version of the church scene where you have a bad relationship with Stella and she didn't open up to you the night before. That scene hurt so much. That one honestly is one of the that one hit, like, almost as hard as the first time I went through the scene in episode 4 where you find Stella and you learn fully about her backstory and everything. Didn't hit quite as hard. That scene is still one of my favorites in the game, but that church bit hurt. Like, her sitting by her parents' graves, and then her being so tired, like the most tired we've seen her in the game so far. I am very, very worried about what's gonna happen in the following chapters to Stella on this route. I have a feeling I know where it's probably headed. And I don't even know that I want to play out that route myself. I might just watch I might watch someone play that out. Yeah, that I'm that's like the most upsetting route in the game. That feels like if it goes the way I think it'll go, it will be. That is. God, I hope nothing happens to Stella. In the fucking rest of the game in general. Yo, she's been through fucking enough. She doesn't need to go through anything else. Yeah, those are kind of my thoughts on this new content. The rumors update has been very good. Added a lot of new content. Like again, this game is fucking insane. There is so much content, and the devs just fucking keep adding more. I'm very, very excited for chapters 6 and 7. I am really, really excited to see what happens with those. I have a feeling those are going to be like the largest chapter so far. I mean, they've just kept getting larger each chapter. It's just bigger and bigger every single chapter, like gradually. Like I do think it is the case of like chapter 1 is the smallest, then 2, 3, 4, and 5, with 5 being by far the largest, especially after this update. It's insane. I am very excited to see how the story will conclude, and I wonder like when that's gonna be coming out. I'm I am patient enough to fucking wait. I'm guessing it'll be late next year or early 2027 or sometime in 2027. I've looked at like generally what the times between chapters were, not counting between 3 and 4 because Slay the Princess happened between 3 and 4. And it's usually around I don't remember exactly actually. It's been a while since I checked. I think it was around half a year to 3/4 of a year. And I would guess it'll probably be even longer than that, though, for these, if these are as large as I'm thinking they're going to be. Like, Chapter 7 has to be the largest one, I feel like. Not necessarily has to be, but, like, that's where all of your choices come to a head. So, like, I feel like that's going to be, like, all of your choices matter in every chapter. But Chapter 7's where all of those are going to come to a head, and I feel like that one's going to be the largest one. And, yeah. I don't know. I know they've gotten somewhat through writing the new chapter. I think they've started on like the actual writing of the chapters. I don't think I remember. I've been following their announcements on like the Steam page and the Black Tabby Games Discord. I have been looking at their announcements, and I think the most recent announcement about the development of the new 2 chapters is that they've started writing it. Don't fully trust me on that. I honestly could be wrong on that. But I am very excited to see, like, whenever Chapter 6 and 7 are come out. I think this will probably be my last Scarlet Hollow stream until then. Once that comes out, expect a lot more. I'm not going to make the same mistakes with Chapter 6 and 7 that I made with the first 5 chapters, where I kind of, like, played through just the twice and then went through a bunch of stuff off stream because I decided I was probably not going to stream anymore, and then I found a lot of stuff that actually no way I would really want to do this for the first time on stream, and now I kind of already did it. Fuck. That's why I did my like extra stream to do like plenty of stuff that I had already seen, but I wanted to like talk about my thoughts on, talk about my theories of what'll happen next, along with the Toxic Fury, right, which I hadn't seen before. And, yeah, like, I don't plan to make the same mistake with Chapter 6 and 7. What I plan to do is play through on my main playthrough, and then play through on my Tabitha playthrough, and then see what happens. Playing through plenty of other ways. Like, set up a bunch of different saves and stuff, and see what happens. in the chapters. I want to stream as much of the content of chapter 6 and 7 as I can. Maybe not necessarily all of it, but like a lot of it. I want to stream through much more than 2 playthroughs of those. So certainly expect a lot more Scarlet Hollow streams coming whenever chapter 6 and 7 are out. But for now, I think it's over. I don't think I have any more Scarlet Hollow streams I'm planning on doing. I don't know exactly what's next. I've been considering doing some Slay the Princess streams. I have already seen most of the content of the game, but there is some content I haven't seen. And also, I kind of just wanted to... I'm considering it. It's not a definite. It's not a for sure that I'm going to play through some Slay the Princess on streams. But there is some press that I would be interested in maybe doing on stream. Like maybe like different choices on princesses I've already seen. I'm not sure. I've been considering some other stuff as well. I've honestly considered replaying through Resident Evil 7 and 8 on stream. It has been years since I've played through either of those fully, but I fucking love both of those games. Especially 8. Like, I love 7 and 8. Both of them are really good. 7's definitely the best one of the two in terms of horror, but 8 is my favorite to play through. I used to speedrun the shit out of that game. I never got, like, super great times or anything, like, leaderboard level, but that wasn't the point of that either. I was just doing that for personal fun, because I found it fun going through a New Game Plus and blasting through everything. That wasn't necessarily the point of this stream anyways. But yeah, a bit more this is me talking about what I might do soon upcoming on streams. I've been wanting to do the weird route of Deltarune Chapter 5. I've been spoiled on some stuff about the route, like vague stuff. And I know generally some of the stuff that happens in the weird route for Chapter 5, but not I haven't seen it. So like it would still be fun to do my reaction to that. Stream that. I just haven't gotten around to setting up the weird route yet. I haven't played weird route past like chapter 2, I think. I don't even remember if I beat weird route chapter 2. I don't know. And I was also wanting to fight the boss of chapter 5, which I have learned it is something about Mew Mew. I don't know for sure because I've avoided as much as I can, but I think it's Mew Mew. I think there's a Mew Mew fight in this one. In Deltarune, which is fun. Yeah, I don't know. I still do need to finish the Subnautica 2 beta as well, or not beta, early access. I still need to finish up to what is there. I kind of just stopped after the last time I streamed it. Haven't gotten back around to that. I should finish that before they add any extra story bits. Anyways, yeah, that was probably about all I have for this stream. Thanks to anyone who came in and watched anytime at all. Thanks to anyone who hung out in chat. Any of that is very much appreciated. If you like this stream and you want to see more of my streams, feel free to follow me on Twitch. It's always very appreciated, but it's also not at all required. So you do not have to. There are a couple other things. If you want to watch my stream VODs, check out my VODs channel. It is linked in my Twitch channel page. I have plenty of VODs there. I have all of my first 2 Scarlet Hollow playthroughs, as well as the stream I did for the Toxicuri route and a couple other things, along with some plenty of other VODs actually, like not even some other, plenty of other stuff. I have like a few Slay the Princess VODs on there. None of my first playthrough. I didn't stream my first playthrough, but they are mostly, if not fully, like fresh reactions of me doing princesses I hadn't seen before. So those ones are fun. There's some other stuff. I have my Deltarune Chapter 5 stream on there. I also have my YouTube linked in there, where I have edited down versions of my streams. I have been recently posting there more. I have my Scarlet Hollow first playthrough up there, as well as my second playthrough where I focused on getting a good relationship with Tabitha. Eric, I'm planning on editing down the Toxic Yuri route I did of Scarlet Hollow and posting it there as well. Oh, hello, welcome in. It's Suen. Stream went well, actually. I was just ending it at a second, so yeah. But like, welcome in anyways. Thanks for coming by. Yeah, I was planning on, I got the Toxic Yuri route edited down, my playthrough of that route edited down, and I'm probably gonna upload it sometime this next week. Maybe Friday as well, kind of like I did with the Tabitha playthrough. Planning on editing this stream down into a video as well. Then maybe some Nautica 2 and Deltarune. Go on over there if you wanted, if you're interested in seeing edited down versions of my streams. This is my first playthrough. No, I've done so many playthroughs of this game. I was checking out the Rumors update. I was checking out the Rumors update for the new one that they released on July 31st, and yeah, I checked out like all of the kind of content that was in there. It was good. It was very fun. I like the stuff with the church, especially. The stuff with the alpacas was very funny. Yeah. Also, my Blue Sky is linked in my Twitch channel page. If you want to go follow that, you get more regular updates from me. I also post some art there sometimes. If you want to go check that out, yeah. Anyone wants to go check that out, that's there. That's all there. I think that's all the stuff I usually mention at the end of streams. God, I haven't streamed in a while. That was kind of a messy version of promoting that shit. But yeah, have I played Hollow Knight? I have played. Okay, so I've played most of the way through the first Hollow Knight, and I've played maybe most of the way through, maybe around like half of the way through Silksong. I haven't streamed all of either one, but I did do a pretty long stream a while back of Hollow Knight, and on Silksong's release day, I also streamed my first time playing the first few hours of it, but I didn't stream the rest of it. I just kind of ended up not doing that. You streaming on YouTube as well? No, I don't. I don't stream on YouTube. I do upload my VODs there, but I don't stream on YouTube. I just prefer streaming on Twitch, usually. But yeah, I think that's about all. Again, thanks to everyone who came in. This has been a very fun stream. Very excited to see what comes next for Scarlet Hollow. And yeah, this is probably it for Scarlet Hollow on my Twitch channel right now. Probably gotta play more of it on in my free time, because I just like replaying this game so much. It's such a good game. It's honestly, like, I was hesitant to say it before because I am prone to recency bias and shit. How long have you been on Twitch? Like, how old is that stream? Oh, when was Scarlet, or when was the first Hollow Knight one? The first Hollow Knight one was it was late in the year of 2024, I think. I think it was like November of 2024, maybe October, actually. I think it was late October of 2024, I think. And then Silksong, I streamed on its release date, so last September. By the way, PNG looks cool. What's its lore? I don't really have any lore for my PNG. It's more just like my Sona I use online for stuff. Yeah, I'm very excited for Scarlet Hollow's next updates. Yeah, like I said, I'm gonna play this for sure more in my free time. I really like this game. Oh yeah, like I am prone to recency bias, so I was hesitant to say that at first. Now that like months and months have passed since I played it for the first time, I can confidently say this is like one of my favorite games. For sure. It's really good. I'm really, really excited for chapter 6 and 7. We hop up on Discord if you're ending stream. I don't usually add people on Discord from like just chat. Sorry. I usually don't, just in general. Anyways, yeah. Yeah, I think that's all I had to talk about. I did try to talk a lot I've been here for like over 10 minutes in the title screen. It was worth it though, because there was a lot to talk about this update and about Scarlet Hollow and stuff now that I've had. Twitch, you piece of shit. I have no idea if it's back yet or not. I am gonna fucking restart Twitch. Alright, are we fucking back now? I hate Twitch so much. It has been being such an asshole today. That's like the third time it's cut out. Anyways, now that I'm back up, I can actually say bye. And also, on Twitter, and said that I don't use Twitter. I stopped using that, like, when things got real bad there. The only one out of social medias I really use outside of like Twitch and YouTube is Blue Sky. Anyways, yeah, thanks to everyone who stopped by. I will hopefully be live again soon. Not gonna promise anything for sure. Maybe live with one of the things I mentioned, maybe with something else. I don't know. Yeah.